Welcome to Telecom in 10, where we explore the quality connections between our cutting-edge technology, unparalleled service, reliable products, and you, our customer and community, as we continue to transform telecom here at Northland Communications.
The one thing I'll remind everybody of is that DDoS protection is not the end-all be-all of a IT security stance, right? I'm a big fan of the term belts and suspenders, okay? In your house, you have your lock and you have a deadbolt, right? Some people only lock one, right? I'm the kind of person that locks both. I want a belts and suspenders type of approach to security, right? A DDoS attack is just one type of a cyber attack that can happen to a company, right? So, not only should you be doing things like considering DDoS service from somebody like Northland, you need to make sure you're also doing things like training your employees on how to recognize phishing attempts, and make sure that you have things like multi-factor authentication and strong password policies, and that your cybersecurity stance is a suite of tools, right? This is a tool that we offer that you can put in your tool belt, right? It's one of many tools that you should be using to keep yourself secure. DDoS protection is not going to prevent somebody from sending an email to a user saying, hey, I need you to go to Target and buy me a whole bunch of Target gift cards, and hoping that somebody clicks on the wrong link, right? DDoS is not going to do that, right? DDoS is not a replacement for a strong firewall in an infrastructure also, right? This is just another tool to make sure that what you get to your firewall is clean, valid data, and not something that's trying to take your service down.
I mean, firewalls will have intrusion detection. The firewall is there to be the deadbolt, the lock, the alarm system. But DDoS mitigation stops the traffic from ever hitting you. So blocking the traffic from hitting you allows you to actually allow your IT resources to actually manage your network and make sure all the other systems are operating efficiently and correctly. Allowing the traffic to get into the system, to flood it, at that point, there's nothing you can do. I mean, blocking it at the starting point is the best way. I've had some customers say, well, my IT vendor says, well, our firewall does this. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. If bad traffic is hitting your firewall, it's already too late. You're already overwhelmed, and all the firewall is going to do is just attempt to block it, but you then can't send and receive your data. So stopping it at the starting point is the best way to do it. And from, it's kind of like the old adage of life insurance. Nobody wants to buy it, nobody likes it, but you really kind of need some level of insurance. And again, going to our side from our company's standpoint is providing the best possible solution at the lowest cost and delivering that connection straight to you at the lowest latency possible, and not using a third party to manage that traffic. We don't want other companies seeing your traffic, knowing what kind of traffic, knowing where your traffic is going to or from. Your data just should flow from us to you, your ISP to you, and out to where it's going.
Yeah, and really your firewall has a job, and you want your firewall to do the job that it's meant to do, without overwhelming its job to do, other features, right? If your firewall is overwhelmed with DDoS traffic, it's likely that is now not going to be doing other security aspects that you want it to do because it becomes so overwhelmed. Or even if your firewall becomes so overwhelmed that it locks and needs to be restarted, guess what? You also have no internet service at that point, right? So that is a denial of service attack. So and I think that it is a big aspect that it is all internal for us. The amount of latency that we researched on the boxes that were added is so small that it is completely, unnoticeable. It has added no latency for any of our connections. And really interesting little side note, right? I'll tell you that it's not just, businesses that can be impacted by a DDoS attack. We just had a notification of an attack that was fairly large, right? It's a 4 gig big attack. That's a pretty big size attack that's happening. And it was actually attacking one of our residential customers that was blocked. Could be, hey, it's a YouTuber that really put a comment out to somebody and made them mad, right? Who knows? Or it's a gamer that was really good at Fortnite and somebody, again, wanted to attack, right? I think there's a very strong misconception that DDoS attacks are only going to happen to those Fortune 500 type of
Correct.
customers, right? That people, they don't care about me. I'm just a pizza shop, on Main Street. They're going after Amazon. They're going after Google. They're going after those big companies. And they do. Don't get me wrong. Those attacks happen all the time to those big companies. But it is now a regular business for attacks to be launched against small to medium-sized businesses in the U.S., right? There is... you can launch a DDoS attack as a service, right? We talk about all kinds of the solutions as a service. There is a Russian-based, distributed denial of service as a service. Sign up for a month. It costs you X amount of dollars, and you can launch, this number of attacks against these specific customers, right? It's crazy how easy it is to launch these attacks. So the easier it gets, the more regular, small to medium-sized businesses are impacted by it.
I mean, everything that you can do to secure your business is critical. Yeah. Multi-factor authentication, as Katie said, regularly changing passwords, having people, unfortunately, are the biggest, weakest point in network security. Bad passwords, weak passwords, unchanged passwords, smishing, phishing. It's amazing the amount of bad emails we get, but there are also a good portion of them are tests to see if we actually will fall for it. And the biggest thing is to read the email header. Read the email header. Look at the reply to or the send to address. You'd be surprised. Oh, it's came from Amazon. Well, look at how they spelled Amazon. They didn't spell it right, and it didn't end in something right. So chances are it's bad. When in doubt, send it, mark it as spam and mark it as phishing if your company offers that feature. But definitely network security is, ransomware is becoming more prevalent. Used to be big corporations, then it moved to hospitals, then it moved to schools. Now it's down to small businesses. If they can get one crypto coin or 10 crypto coins or whatever out of you, they've made their payday. It costs them nothing to lock up your system. But it costs you everything to restore from a catastrophic system like that.
Well, and imagine too, if you have to tell all your customers that all of their customer data was just, breached, right? That if for many small to medium-sized businesses, a ransomware attack or a true attack like that can put a company out of business, right? A small to medium-sized business is not gonna recover from an attack like that. And a lot of times, a DDoS attack. The assumption is that a DDoS attack is used in conjunction with somebody having other information, right? So say I fell for a phishing email. I clicked a link. Now somebody has additional information on my business. Like Michael mentioned in the beginning, right? This could be an attack that happens where they launch a DDoS attack to try to get your IT department to focus on the DDoS attack while they're starting to do things like encrypt from within your network, right? Can they muddy the waters enough so that you don't see what's happening while it's happening? But yeah, all security in general is it's the insurance policy
that you wish you didn't need, but you do need it.
You're glad you need it when you have it.
You're
glad you have it when you need it. Yes.
One